Okay, I've noticed in my first post that I've only done 1, 2 and 4, so I'm going to include 3, which really isn't that long anyway, in this one, and also I'm doing 5. So firstly, how do you reconcile your atheism with any ultimate meaning in life? In my opinion, there is no ultimate meaning in life. Life just is. So pretty much this is the same thing. Why is there something rather than nothing? It's, in my opinion, pretty much the same question. There is no meaning in life, and in my opinion, you don't need any meaning in life. And that is the same thing with why is there something rather than nothing. The difference between religious and atheist ways of thinking. A religious person feels there needs to be a meaning, and feels there needs to be something rather than nothing, and there needs to be a reason why there is something more rather than nothing, and feels there needs to be a meaning behind life and all that sort of thing. Where I'd say an atheist doesn't need one, and I feel life just is, and that's all there is to it. And one of the things, the one that I've had trouble with, because I've just had there's so many varying different opinions that I've had, is the what is the end-all goal of atheism activism on YouTube? I think the reason why people feel they need to argue about these things, or discuss, as many people will tell me off for saying argue, is the idea that the best way I can think to describe it is using an analogy, and I've worked this out, and I hope it's a vaguely good analogy. I hope this doesn't offend anyone, because it's possibly looking at religion in a quite bad light in many ways. And yes, okay. Well, imagine that you're walking around, and there are people in the world. Well, there are people in the world that believe the world is flat. I believe there's a website called the Flat Earth Society. Now, imagine these people all over the place, and they keep telling you that the world is flat, even though you completely know the world is round. You know the world is round, and there's no question about it. But these people are telling you the world is flat, and if you're not careful, you're going to fall off the edge. And you're going to die, and you're going to fall off the edge, and it's all terrible, and you really have to believe the world is flat. And they keep telling you this, and it can either be subtle ways of doing it, or they can come to your door and tell you you're going to fall off the edge of the world unless you believe the world is flat, and you must stop believing the world is round because you're silly. And you ask them why, and they tell you why, and you have no understanding of what their arguments are, and you just don't quite comprehend it. And I think that's one of the problems, is the fact that there's a difference in people's ways of thinking between religion and non-religion. But imagine these people are constantly doing this, and constantly telling you that the world is flat. Imagine, all you religious people, imagine someone kept doing that to you, and your opinion is completely ridiculous, and after a while you would find it slightly insensitive and insulting that they keep doing this to you. And okay, I admit that this may sound slightly silly, but to some people, people coming up to them and telling them that they're wrong is rather insulting. And I admit that can be some of the problems with some atheists, them telling religious people that they're categorically wrong. I admit I do believe that you are wrong, but I have respect for what you do believe, and I'm not going to go out of my way to try and stop you from believing it, whereas some of the other atheists do try and do that. I think more what I'm trying to do personally, and I think a lot of people almost trying to do, is fix problems with religion. And also trying to one of the problems that's trying to be fixed is, in my opinion, religious people should accept that it is just a case of belief. God can't be proved, and in my opinion there is no even slightest possibility that it exists from a scientific point of view, or a psychological point of view, or any of that sort of thing. And I say God can be explained purely psychologically, and that's all it is a psychological reflection of what people want. And I think that it's people's want for it, and I think religious people should accept. I think most atheists are just trying to get people to accept that it is just belief, and it shouldn't be attempted to persuade us any other way, and it should just be a belief and nothing more than that. And trying to explain it any other way is like trying to convince someone the earth is shaped like a spoon, or a pineapple, or the universe is in fact contained within the diuretic results of a duck. It's just so preposterous that you can't understand it. I think it should be accepted as simply a belief and nothing more. And also I think a lot of people are attempting to fix other problems with religion, not just in the belief system, but also in the way people do things. For example, the way people pick and choose bits of religion. That's something that I personally find really both insulting to people in general, but also insulting to the religion itself. The fact that they're choosing, for example, there's an American website called God Hates Fags, I believe, and I think this sort of thing is ridiculous. People hating homosexuals is so completely illogical and stupid that I can't conceive how they even get the thought process from. And they're saying that it's from sections in the Bible, when in my opinion it's just their own opinions anyway. But they're saying it's from the Bible, and this same section of the Bible which says, "Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not lie with a man as a man lies with a woman." And this same section of the Bible is the bit that tells you you can't cut your sideburns, and this is where you get the traditional Jewish long curly sideburn bits. And also tells the Jews about their halal foods, the foods they can and cannot eat. And so these same people who are saying they hate gays and saying this bit the Bible tells us that we must kill gays or whatever, is the same bit that they're ignoring when they shave their heads and eat sausages. And in my opinion, it's just silly. I think these bits should be worked out. And also, I think it's a way of doing all this is a way of taking down religion a notch. I think, in my opinion, because a lot of religious people have a superiority complex. A lot of people, because of the fact that religion has been around for so long, and a lot of the indoctrination of religion has been telling people that people who don't believe in God are horrible Satanist people. And I think that's still reflected in culture today. A lot of religious people consider non-believers to not be as good people, not be as nice people, which in my opinion is completely ridiculous. And another reason why I dislike religion in the fact that I don't believe in God, but say God did exist, and I'm just saying this completely, say God did exist, I would still consider myself to go to heaven. Just because I don't believe in him doesn't mean I'm not a good person. I'm just as good a person as, say, there could be some Satanist murderer. They believe in God, or what? That doesn't make them more likely to get into heaven than me. I'm a nicer person just because I don't believe in God. Doesn't mean that it shouldn't work that way, and I don't believe a God would do that. Firstly, I think that's just humans saying we don't like you, therefore you're not coming into our club, kind of thing. So I think it's generally a case of working out the problems that religion has, and I think there are a lot of them. And I think that it's important that we help everyone sort out these problems. I think religion can help, and I think religion does help a lot of people. Some people have a lot of problems in their lives, and religion is a very good way of them sorting these problems out. People who don't maybe have perfect moral laws for themselves, religion gives them those laws categorically, whereas say an atheist doesn't need those laws all the time. Maybe they have their own laws, their own natural laws that they understand, and they don't need to be given one, and don't need to be given an incentive to do it. They don't need to be given an incentive to do good. They know that there is no benefit to doing it, but it's the right thing to do. I think this is a very, very long-winded thing that I've said, and probably very complicated and a bit not very well done, but I'm still going to post it, and I hope people can come back at me, because I've done this about 4 times now, and I'm repeating myself, and I'm getting sick of making this, and so I'm going to leave it at this, and hope that someone will comment, and maybe on a different day I can do responses to anything someone says. Someone, not lots of people are going to watch this, to the one person who watches this, and hopefully refine some of the arguments I say. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope for any religious people this has helped.